Hey, how's everything? We're recording now. Today it is Friday, and I'm recording this a little before I'm ready, to be honest with you. I'm working on a few things, but my quality of videos is I'm working on it. So what we're working on today is a tunic that I was making. And I make a lot of them because I'm cold all the time. And I'm in the house most of the time. So I want to be warm but comfortable. I want to have my sleeves at about 2/3 length because, I'm sewing all the time. And I'm a homemaker. I make, I'm always doing dishes or doing laundry or, doing something where I need my sleeves up a little bit. Just a little bit so my wrists are open. What I am working on today is a tunic that I made out of this kind of nice brushed, it's polyester, but it's a good, nice knit polyester. It's stripes, very on trend. And it's a tunic. It's kind of big. And I made it in the largest size without really without really taking the pattern and making sure that the shoulders were the right size and the arms were the right length and all that. So I have a tunic that is massive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the serger and I'm going to serge down the edges because I serged the seams, but I think what I might have to do is, like, there's a middle panel here, like this middle panel, and I did it in the and took the stripes and did it in an opposite way, so it was kind of interesting. We'll see. But it's just too big. See, let me try it on. It's crazy. I like to wear kind of like long sleeve t-shirts and then like a knit tunic over it. With stretch pants and big, heavy wool socks. Because I'm crazy. My husband's hot all the time. I'm cold all the time. Somehow it works. Okay, but look at this. This is crazy. This is it's going to fall off me. Craziness. So what I'm going to do is I really just have to start again. I think I'm going to take off the sleeves, narrow down the body of it, and then kind of tack the sleeves back one, but just bring it down a little bit, and that's all you need to do. That when you find something like this, it's got a back seam, so it's nice and easy to adjust. What I do a lot of times when I'm sewing knits, is I'll lay out my fabric, and to save fabric, how they have you do it the front and back on the fold. Well, I do the back on the selvage side and just give a seam in the back. It's just, I've been sewing for a while. It might not be the perfect thing to do, but it saves me fabric. And, a lot of knits, I find if you have just a small piece, you're not going to really do anything with it. So, use your fabric to the best of your, to the best you can kind of lay things out. The sewing patterns are important to follow. They're very important to follow. However, they're not dogma. If you find, particularly with your layout, if you find your layout you want to preserve or conserve fabric, just keep in mind your grain lines, because that will trip you up, particularly if you have stretch in your fabric. I made a neck pillow one time and put it on the fabric kind of wonky. So the one side was nice and tight and the other side was like a shriveled up sausage of this neck pillow I gave my father and gave it to him for Christmas. Here, this is for all your hard work and all that. You get a half deflated neck pillow. Not real good. So what I'm going to do. So back to the tunic. I'm going to take off these sleeves and narrow it down and then come back. Thank you. You can watch me while I do that. Very fun. I'm just gonna open this seam up. I'm not gonna bother with the seam ripping, but I'm just gonna open this up. I'm not gonna worry about seam ripping and all that silliness. I'm just gonna this is the sleeve. Okay, this is the body of the tunic. So what I'm going to do is just take on the sleeve side, just going to come up here, take that out. Now this part is a little funky, but I'm going to sleeve. And this is kind of free form, and I know not everybody likes to sew like this, and I understand that. You know, people are much more careful about how they do it. But, you know, this is just a tunic I'm going to wear in the house. It's not anything that's going to be like, you know, premier sewing or anything like that. So. Okay, and I'm just cutting out the seam. Now I'm going to have to take this way down, so it's okay that I cut out part of the shoulders here. Okay, and now I have the tunic, and I've got a good, still have a good shoulder seam there, right, like this, there. Still a good shoulder seam. This is the other seam. I'm just going to check them against each other. Make sure they're the same width. And they yep, they are. See that? There we go. So we're good. So what I'm going to do is take my, do some more trimming up. I'm going to take this middle panel that you see in here, and I'm going to take that out. I'm just kind of cutting this all up in its component parts. I'm going to put it back together smaller so that it actually is like something that fits me and is not a tent, because that doesn't make any sense to wear a tent. Okay, there you go. And I have to do this bottom too. I made just a kind of a quick hem in it, and it's just not good enough. I know I'm kind of talking out of both sides of my mouth when I'm talking about it's just something for the inside, something I'll wear inside, but you still want it to be good. So let me get out my serger. Exposure. Okay. What are we doing? All right, well, not so quite so washed out. Still learning all this stuff. All right, I'm gonna redo. Okay, that back. First, I'm gonna redo the. And we got both machines on, so we're running back and forth. All right, we got that top nice and done. Here, I'm gonna bring this better. Okay, that's good. And this is the front. Now it doesn't have any darts in it because it's a tunic. It just kind of falls from the shoulders. It doesn't have any darts in it, but what I'm going to do is just clean it up insofar as a just on the serger. Just clean it up a little bit on the serger. Because it's a little, yeah, I'll be honest, when I cut a little choppy. It's one of my worst sewing issues. Okay, now we got that done, and it's a little narrow on the sides, but I'm going to just give it a little bit of, in the armholes, I'm just going to straighten it up a little bit, because like I said, I'm choppy. I love that kind of choppiness that it gets, and I just love my serger. Now on curves, it's a little kind of funky on curves. It doesn't grab it like it probably should, but it's probably also operator error because, you know. Okay, the sides are nice and cleaned up. I'm just going to clean up the hem, and then we're going to start putting things back together. I throw stuff on my floor all the time. Little threads and flecks of material, and it's terrible. Place is a mess. Okay, got all the little threads off. Trying to anyway. Okay. Now, I'm going to put the front and the back together. And I'm kind of doing this over my machine. I don't have a ton of like table space in here, so this is the front. I'm sorry, you really can't see this. And this is the back, and I'm just going to, you know, join them at the shoulders. There we go. Got a nice shoulder join there. I'm going to sew it on the regular machine. yes, like I said, we were doing a version of this pattern, which is a very easy Vogue V9330. And it's an older pattern, and I've had it for a million years. And we're doing this one without the big collars. I have other ones where I have big collars, but this one we're doing with just the regular crew neck. And now we are going to put the sleeves back on. My room is a mess, by the way. It is disgusting. I am so embarrassed, but I'm keeping you right kind of close to me so that you can't see what a disgusting mess this room is. I'll tell you something. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's a middle. Oh, I forgot we took the middle out. Ugh. Okay. I'm going to put the sleeves on after we put the middle on. Okay, so now we've got the front and we got the back, got the front. I'm going to lay it on the, move the rest of the stuff out of the way. Move my iron out of the way. Stuff down here. Now I'm opening this up so that the seams are on the top so I can see the seams. And I'm going to put in okay. Now before I put in the sleeves, I need to put in anyway. Okay, what we're doing now is we're putting in we're putting in the middle parts, which will go right here, and move this up so it works a little better. We're on the ironing board, which I use a lot for piecing and just general sewing. I don't have a lot of kind of open table area, so I work on my ironing board a lot. I do a lot of piecing on my ironing board and kind of getting things together. Okay. So we've got this. This is the middle piece. It kind of gives some side area to the tunic. And I'm putting it on. Putting it on like this. I'm gonna get this. Oh, that's a tear right there. That's not good. I'm gonna bring that in a little. And okay, right like that. Okay. So right now I'm just pinning All right, now I'm going to go back to sew. like I said, room is a mess. Absolute mess. It is my absolute priority on the weekend to clean this pit. Because it gets to a point where I can't work. It just gets to be too nasty, and I can't work. And, so I gotta stop what I'm doing and take a day and just clean it out. Get rid of the stuff that's not working, get rid of the stuff you're not going to use, and do that. Okay, where are we? This is a quilting machine, and it's a PQ 1500 SL from Brother, and it's a great machine. Primarily for quilting. It's a quilting machine. But what has happened is that a lot of my straight machines aren't working. I have a beginner machine that my mother gave me. I can't get the thread tension to sit right. My other one is an embroidery machine. My husband gave it to me, and I can't. The safety bar has engaged, and it won't stop doing that. So I've already gotten it fixed for like $150, and it's still not working right. So I think what I'm going to ask for Christmas is a new basic machine. I'm thinking of getting a Janome. So I would love any viewers, any of you guys who have Janomes to let me know how they are. Now I'm spending about maybe $300. I don't want to spend a fortune. I don't have it to spend, so there's that. So fixes that. Now I'm going to the other side. Now I put the panel on the on that side, so I'm going to do it on the other side while I talk to you. Talking to you about getting a new machine, which is a big deal. I would love to get like a baby lock, or like a really high-end Brother machine, but it's just not in the cards right now, and I don't know if it ever will be. I would like to. I'd like to expand my knowledge and get really advanced machines, and really develop a business through YouTube, and helping people, and showing people how to sew, and helping people in later years after 50 develop a good hobby that will do well for them, because and I'm thinking the best way to really talk to people where they are is to get a basic machine and kind of go through it as if I were learning all again. So what I plan to do is just get a basic machine off the rack, probably at Walmart, because I have a nice Janome there. So nothing special, just regular machine, as if I was just starting sewing again. And because that really is really where my audience, I think, is people who are over 50. But it's not exclusive. Anybody is welcome. But I mostly talk to women who are over 50. I'm over 50. That's what I know about. Honestly, that's all I know. How to be is old and sewy. So panels back on, then it'll start to take the form of a top. Right now it's just some fabric. There we go. All right, now I'm going to sew those middle panels to the front, and then I'll probably go over those seams with the serger. I'm going to sew these to the front, working from the bottom and getting it to where it will go up at the top. There we are. And I'm pinning. I like to pin. I'm a pin person. You know, some people aren't pinners. Some people do clips. Some people just don't pin at all. The clothes made in factories are not done with pins, so you can work without pins if they just annoy you. The reason the factory clothes aren't made with pins is that, you know, they make so many and they have to go out, and if, you know, people are finding pins in their, you know, wrapped up shirts and whatnot, that's not cool. So they do it without pins, which, you know, you just have to remember where you are. And I like pins. My machine, this PQ 1500 SL, great machine. Only issue is it is thread wasty. When you go to sew, it pulls a lot of the thread out, so you need like a long tail thread. Not the end of the world, but it's just something I wanted to mention. Now today we've pretty much remade a tunic, and I've talked to you about like some of my issues with sewing, and you know how I'm just kind of old. But I'm old. You know, I've talked about it with my introduction video. I was born with a heart defect that was corrected at 8 months, but you know, things are a little precarious. I had a pacemaker when I was 16, and I had a heart transplant when I was 42. So you know, I kind of been through it a little bit. You know, like a lot of people have. Like there are people who've been through things that I can't even imagine. You know, I've had a little share of you know, some medical stuff, and you know, all that. But so for me, the reason I say that is to get old to me is a privilege, and what you do in like your last act will really kind of define you. What you did in your 20s, you know, it was good, but it was good. It might have been good, it might have been bad, but it's in the past. What you do with the last part of your life, the last act, the last chapter, is what you'll be remembered for. So, you know, make it a good time. Make yourself creative or intellectual or whatever it is you thought of it as a kid, you thought you would be. You know, you've done the kids, you've done the work, you've done all that. Your kids might be a little grown. You might be in a position where you're taking care of your parents. My mother is self-sufficient. She's 80. She's living on her own. She's self-sufficient. But I feel a pull to kind of look after her a lot. And that happens when you're a little older, when you get in your 50s and 60s, you know, you might be retired, but it doesn't mean you're retired from all work ever. So, start a YouTube channel, start sewing, start photography, start, I don't know, sewing or needle crafts or knitting, or something you can really get into and really express yourself with. Like I like clothes as a means of self-expression, but that's me. Not everybody wants to go around in, big loud, big shoes and, all that silliness. So, do right by yourself. All right, now I'm going to take it to the serger, do some serging, and work on those. Lots of threads hanging off. Okay, work on that, then put those sleeves back on, and then we'll be done. And you're with me through this whole thing. People who've stayed with me through this, thank you so much. I am so excited to have you here. I can't tell you. I get nervous about what I'm going to talk about on my videos, and then the camera comes on and I start talking, and it's like talking to a friend. So, and that's how I feel about the sewing community. It's there's some friends that kind of, here I am, some friends that are kind of hanging out and coming around, and we sew together and we talk, and as it were. But it's really sweet. Okay, putting this through the serger again. Okay, now I'm just straightening up these seams. All right. Bit of a project. Okay, now we have a tunic that is much more in keeping with my size. Okay, this is a tunic without the sleeves on. Let me just get a look for sizing. Okay, and I kind of like a wide. That's a little too wide, but kind of. There we go. It's a little bit wide, but I kind of like a wide neck. That's okay. But it's keeping kind of in my size. Yeah, you can't really see it. Let me see. Kind of see this a little bit better. Okay, now I'm going to put the sleeves back on, and then we'll be done. Now, sleeves are pretty open wide. They've got a middle panel in the, well, you can't really see it. Let me show you. They got a middle panel, so you just line that middle panel up with the middle panel in the tunic, and you're all set. You're good. So it's going to be a big tunic, but that's okay. That's all right. I don't like that. I like it kind of big. Now I'm going to put the sleeves back on, and we will move on. Okay, coming back over to the ironing board to do these sleeves. Okay, get it in the front. So I want to look at the front. So I can put my sleeves in. Now, to put in sleeves, you go right to right. So you want your shirt to be on right, or the outside out. You want to have the outside, the seams open, the seams facing you. And you lay it down, and then you put your, you have your sleeve right side out, and you put it inside the garment, inside the shirt. And then you line up your notches and your seams, and wherever it is you have to attach that sleeve. But you do it with the shirt part seams out, the sleeve right side out, put inside the shirt. Okay, remember that. You shouldn't have any trouble with sleeves. It takes practice to get them so they don't look kind of lumpy and poofy and, you know, all of that. But, you know, practice, you know. That's what you do. You practice. You got a hobby, you practice. Okay, so put seams together. And on this, it's a seam together. It doesn't have notches, it has seams. So, and then we pin. We pin like crazy. And like with a button-down shirt, you've got to be much more careful for the tailoring and the, you know, it's really a kind of shirt where it has a lot of angles and it has a lot of darts and things, and everything has to really kind of fall in line. Whereas a tunic, you can be a little not quite as precise. You're not tailoring now, you're just kind of putting something together. Okay, you've got your shirt shell out, and you've got your seams out. Your seams are all out. It's inside out. Now you're going to take your sleeve, put it right side out, put it inside the shirt. And then you match up whatever it is you have to match up so that the right sides are together. You follow? Hello? This is she. Oh, sure. Yes, I do. That'd be fine. Wednesdays are really good early in the day, if that's possible. Okay. Now we're going to sew. Now we're going to sew. Okay, I don't have like a fly arm or a arm that you make armholes in because it's like a flat bed kind of machine for quilts. But you make do. Like everything else in life, you just you work with it. You do what you have to. Yes. All right. All right, and we have one sleeve down. Woohoo! Fascinating, right? I'm sure it is. Hey, put on a sleeve. Calm down. All right. Okay. So we're done. We repaired a tunic that was too big. And I think I hope I showed you how to kind of repair something that you made a little big, or something that you get from Goodwill or such that is way too big, and you can kind of bring it down. You just kind of cut it up into its component parts, make it a little smaller, sew it back up according to your sizing. It's not hard. It's not hard. You just have to kind of break it down and start back up. I would love to see you hit the like button. That really helps me. Thank you so much. And if you hit the like button and if you would subscribe, it doesn't cost anything. And we can hang out here on Fridays when I upload videos. Now, I haven't been as consistent as I want to be. We've had some family stuff going on. You know, Russ had cataract, my husband, Russ, had cataract surgery. Just some other, it's life. Just kind of gets in your way of things you want to do. So I'm not as consistent, but I'm really trying hard because it's very important to me to kind of show sewing as a great hobby for people who have a little bit more time than they know what to do with. Love clothes, love personal style, love expression. But there's all kinds of things you can do with sewing. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful hobby. It's not cheap. I'll be honest with you, not cheap, but you can do it. You can do it high end, you can do it low end. You can do it in a way that you can afford. It can be done. I am a prime example of, you're handed something not that great, and you make the best of it. You make do with what you have. You make the best of what you have. And you make it work. And women do that all the time. And that's why I speak to you. Because I know we make do and we make it nice for everyone else. Make it nice for yourself as well. Okay. Love you guys, and thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate it. Please subscribe. Please comment in the comment section. Please, I would love to hear from you. Let me know, where you're coming from, what you're sewing, what you're doing. Whatever you feel like. We're here to talk. I'm here to hear. I'm here to listen. So I love you guys, and thank you so much. Bye bye now.